Hello everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of my Pokemon Platinum Let's Play. I am Magnificent Entertainer, Bulbagarden's multimedia executive. In the last episode, we returned to Route 228 with a special Pokemon in our party, and managed to capture the legendary Regirock. In this episode, we will be attempting to capture another one of that particular legendary trio. And just as a reminder, here is my party. So I've got MEtagross in the front for Stun Spore, Tropius for HM usage, and Grovyle with that false swipe because, well, these legendary Pokemon are very weak, low-leveled. This is the event Pokemon that you need in order to have access to these Pokemon in the game. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You're going to see just empty caverns as we did the first time we visited these locations. I happen to have that particular Pokemon on one of the many Platinum files that I had from a long time ago. That is the Toys R Us distribution. Anyway, we're going to be heading out of Snow Point City and, back to Mount Coronet. I suppose you could do this one of two ways, and honestly, the way that I'm doing things here, it would make the most sense for me to capture this Pokemon last in the trio, but I'm catching them in National Dex order, so, Regice comes before the other Pokemon in this, well, the final Pokemon in the trio, so that's why I'm capturing them in this order, even though I ultimately will be returning to Snow Point City for one final thing. But yeah, so in order to go back to Mount Coronet, at least from this particular direction, we do have to go back through these particularly snowy routes, and, at least I can say this isn't real life, because if this was real life, I would absolutely hate being in all this snow and having to wander through it and slogging, and I cannot stand the cold. I really cannot. As it stands, just because this is a video game doesn't mean that I like these particular routes. And again, I do find it excessively tedious that we basically have to slog through all that snow. We can't run, we can't ride our bike, and it just feels like an extra hassle that was completely and totally unnecessary. That having been said, why am I coming at it from this direction? Well, I'm pretty sure that the goals for this video, the objectives for this video, say that I'm a fool, so take that take that however you will. But it is easier to access the particular location we are going to from this entrance of Mount Coronet, because if you will recall, there is this cavern right here. And like I said, you need that particular Event Regigigas in order to be able to see what's in in order to be able to access this Pokemon. So if we come in here this time, well, now that's completely different from what we saw last time. I'd say this is a particularly cool-looking environment. Anyway, there is a weird statue over here that in no way, shape, or form looks like the previous statue that we saw. It is a statue of a Pokemon. It seems to exude power. From somewhere, something spoke out. With our master, upon every lighted tile you must tread. Alright, well, let's do that then. And I like the little noise that it makes when you do that. Uh-oh. Something changed in the air. An indescribable power is emanating from the Pokemon statue. Well, that certainly bodes well. I would highly recommend that you save, and that is exactly what I will be doing. And hoping that nothing goes wrong with the recording moving forward. Very good. And if we talk to this statue, Jackie! Oh boy. Here we go against the legendary Pokemon Regice. It's only located here in the Iceberg Ruins with that Event Regigigas. It is level 30 with the moves Stomp, Icy Wind, Curse, and Superpower, and it has that Clear Body ability. So its moveset is basically the exact same as Regirock's, but it's got Icy Wind in place of Rock Throw. Hooray! So we've successfully paralyzed it. That's good. Now we will switch over to Grovyle, because this thing is only level 30, and probably anything MEgaPod does will KO this thing. Now, Icy Wind is super effective against Grovyle, so that's not great. That was... Was that a... No, that was not a critical hit. Okay. Regice over here is specially defensive, which means that it takes pretty much no damage from special attacks, but it'll take decent damage from physical attacks. Although that false swipe didn't do much of anything. I feel like that Stomp critical hit did less than the actual... Whoa, okay, good. Than the actual non-critical hit from the left. But this actually might KO Grovyle, which is a little awkward. No, it does not. It does lower Grovyle's speed. I will false swipe. I don't know if that means I'm going to get it exactly to 1 HP. Oh, you're cursing. Okay, well now your speed falls. Let's false swipe again, just in case we didn't actually get that down to 1 HP. Oh, I didn't use the quick ball. I really am a fool. Oh well. Alright. You know what? Let's continue to be a fool. And... do I even... I should have... Yeah, here we go. I've got 50 quick balls. Let's use the quick ball now, even though it's not at any particular advantage. Okay, well, that didn't work. And down goes Grovyle. No major surprises there. Once again, I believe I'm going to put Penguin over here out to deal with this thing. Superpower is super effective, but Stomp is resisted, Icy Wind is quad resisted, and it can curse at me all at once. I really don't care. Not going to use my Master Ball on this thing. Repeat Ball doesn't actually work. Let's try a Premier Ball. Why not? That's always fun if you can catch something in a Premier Ball. Nah, nothing doing. But yeah, I think I said most of my opinion on this particular trio in the last episode where I was battling against Regirock. On the other hand, I would like to point out right here and right now that very clearly Regice is the coolest of its particular legendary trio. Both by virtue of being an ice type and the fact that I really like its cry. Like its Pokemon. I think that it's... Well, it's very nice. I like it a lot, and I think I've gone on way too long about that particular thing, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just chucking random Pokeballs at this thing, and, you know, because we haven't even hit 10 minutes yet, I'm hoping they don't actually capture. I love how I'm actively rooting against myself. At least for now. But I also do kind of want to catch these things, or catch some legendary Pokemon in weird or unexpected Pokeballs. Like, I'm the guy who, when Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came around, they give you the special Beast Balls to use against the Ultra Beasts, and I was like, I adamantly refused. I think I caught... So I think I actually caught one of the Ultra Beasts in a regular Pokeball, because you know, when I'm not sitting here recording, when I'm not actually needing to constantly talk, when I can distract myself with videos or things of that nature, I probably have a lot more patience than I should. But yeah, you can see Regice is attack. And by the way, I keep flipping between Regice and Regice. I think they're both technically correct, but I'm not sure. I think Regice is definitely correct, and I think Regice, a lot of people call it that because the other members of its trio are, you know, Reggie, Rock, Reggie, Steel. Okay, I spoiled what the next one is. Oh no, it's not like you shouldn't have already known what those Pokemon were. But yeah, so I'm the kind of guy who, when Sun and Moon came out and I was playing through my copy of Sun, they deliberately give you the Beast Balls specifically to catch the Ultra Beasts, and I'm like, no, I will not do this. I'll catch them in Ultra Balls, I'll catch them in, like, anything that is not a Beast Ball. Or a Master Ball. Alright, let's see what this superpower does, because that is super effective. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Okay, that was a critical hit, but wow. Not great. Let me use a Hyper I think it's only got, like, 5 uses of superpower. Maybe I'm wrong, but either way, I don't want Penguin to go down. You know, I know that Regice here is only level 30, but Gliscor or Splurb is quad weak to Ice. Masquerose is weak to Ice. Tropius is quad weak to Ice. I suppose I could throw out that Regigigas, but I don't want to. Like, I think that Regigigas essentially means that this battle is going to end in one of 2 ways, and that's, you know, either the Pokemon is going to struggle, the Pokemon is going to struggle itself and faint, or you're going to accidentally KO, and it keeps criticaling with that, which is not nice. Yeah, the Pokemon is either going to KO itself with recoil damage due to struggle, or you're going to accidentally KO it, which is why I do have False Swipe. But it's never going to be able to KO that Event Regigigas unless you're completely and totally careless. And I do try not to be completely careless. Alright, so I think that's 3 uses of Superpower, unless I missed one completely. I've got plenty of Hyper Potions. I really don't need to worry about that. And despite everything that happened in the resort area, I do still have a lot of money. I have not wasted anything on, well, I shouldn't say waste, but I have not spent any money on villa decorations since the last episode where I featured the villa. I may do that at some point if I just grind up a lot of money, which theoretically is possible. Let's try a repeat ball just for giggles. It doesn't technically count well, of course it doesn't count, because Regirock and Regice are different Pokemon. Even if their statue sprites are, like, exactly the same. But yeah, try the Premier Ball again, why not? Again, I'm just kind of goofing around. I'm trying to catch this thing in unexpected Pokeballs. I don't want to throw the Dusk Balls. I don't want to throw the timer. Well, I don't even know if the timer balls are fully charged. I should keep track of how many turns it's been, but I'm just not paying attention. 1, and no. The Premier Balls are at least shaking, which I think is better than some of the other ones have been doing. Alright, so that should be 4 uses of Superpower. Please do not critical. Okay, you critical, but you had lowered your attack so many times that I don't think that mattered. I thought critical hits didn't take into consideration attack being lowered. Whatever. You know what? Let's use the last Premier Ball. I can get more between episodes. Sure. Nope. Absolutely nothing. Oh well. That's fine. Do as you will. Alright, what do we got now? Pokeballs. Let's try another heal ball. Heal balls are fun. They're, I think, what, the second most useless type of poke... Whoa, hold on. I was going to say they're the second most useless type of Pokeball, but... next to the Premier Ball, but whoa, that almost actually did something. And I think that did shake quickly on that first one, unless, again, there's a glitch or a lag between my DS, my 2DS and the screen. Because I'm actually, I spend, when I'm recording, I stare at the computer as opposed to staring at my 2DS, just because the screen is bigger. I think that's all the uses of superpower that you have, although again, I could be misremembering and it may have more PP than 5. But in either case, I don't think it's actually going to be too bad from here on out, because you've lowered your attack so much. And Penguin, I don't know why you avoided that Icy Wind. It probably would have done 1 HP. Well, I guess every HP counts, as I found out in my battle against Rourke, but... And here you go, you're cursing again. Lower that speed, raise your attack and defense a little bit, because superpower lowered them. Yeah. No, I do like Regice a lot. You know, like I said, I think I mentioned my thoughts on these particular Pokemon fairly well in the last episode, although I guess to reiterate, you know, I do like the idea of the original trio of Regis, so that's Regirock, Regice, and Registeel, and then, you know, again, the idea of Regigigas was technically foreshadowed in the Ruby and Sapphire games, because the visual braille used a singular pronoun to describe the Pokemon that was feared, as opposed to a plural pronoun. It instead of they or them, and yes, I know they or them can be singular, but if you are referring to multiple Pokemon, you would use they or them. Oh, I thought I had it in a Pokeball. Oh well. And I know, like, as soon as I try one of the smart Pokeballs, well, it may not catch, but I don't want to catch it in a smart Pokeball. I've got plenty of both the Dusk Balls and the Timer Balls, but that's just boring. You know, I may use it if... Okay, I may use it if it starts to get a little bit, you know, if this particular video starts to get too long, but I haven't even been sitting here 20 minutes yet, so I can relax, unless I happen to... Okay, I was going to say unless I happen to catch it in that Pokeball, but I did not. Alright, now you've gotten to a point where cursing is no net negative and only a net positive. So good for you, I suppose. Let's try the Luxury Ball again. Like I said, I'm just trying the weird Pokeballs because I want to try at least to catch it in something bonkers. And, you know, really, there's no better condition I can have this thing in to try catching it, because it's got 1 HP left, it's paralyzed, and like I said, you know, technically the catching multiplier is whoa, 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 whoa! Ah! I thought I had it in a net ball. Well, that's unfortunate. But oh well. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the catching multiplier might be higher if you do something like put it to sleep or freeze it, but both of those will, you know, they don't last for the entire battle. So, you know, paralysis will last for the whole battle. Paralysis doesn't lower the Pokemon's HP, so you can basically keep a Pokemon paralyzed indefinitely. It does have a 1.5 times catch multiplier, so it helps with that, and it does lower the Pokemon speed just in case you happen to be trying to go after a Pokemon that's particularly fast. So yeah, paralyzed and at 1 HP is probably the best consistent status you can get a Pokemon in to catch it. again, the question becomes, do you need to get all Pokemon down to this particular level? And the answer is no. Probably mostly because Pokemon actually have decent catch rates, so legendaries are already low catch rates, or at least most of them are. Which I guess brings me to a different topic about some of the more recent legendaries, which have higher catch rates. I know that kind of a legendary Pokemon needing to be captured or needing to be defeated to advance the story has been around. I'm trying to think. Was it Crystal, or was it... Yeah, I think Suicune is part of the story in Crystal. I'm pretty sure that all of the legendary Pokemon in Gen 1 are completely and totally optional. And Gen 2, I think you do have the legendary Pokemon is kind of off to this side. I don't remember, though, if in Gold and Silver... It's been far too long since I've actually played Gold and Silver. So I don't remember if the battles with their respective box art legendaries have to happen during the story of the game. But in either case, some of the newer legendary Pokemon have higher catch rates that makes it fairly easy for them to capture. I think, in particular, what I'm thinking of is like the X and Y legendaries, the box art legendaries, where like you can feasibly actually get them in a quick ball. Which again, it's kind of boring when it's supposed to be a fairly climactic battle. But you could theoretically battle it and try to catch it the silly way like I'm doing. But I mean, even if I threw that quick ball in the first turn, it probably wouldn't have made much of a difference. What now? We'll try the Heal Ball again, just because. But yeah, so I do really like these particular legendary Pokemon. Again, I like how their bodies are actually made up of their particular elements. So you've got one that's made out of rocks, you've got one that's made out of ice, you've got one that's made out of metal or steel. Very, very clever and kind of different ways to do the same thing. And again, it's kind of where I feel like the newer Regis that were introduced with Sword and Shield, I feel like that's kind of where they fall apart. First of all, the dragon one, Draco, whatever it is. I mean, first of all, they don't follow the naming convention, which is just bad. Although I suppose Regielektric and Regidragon don't exactly sound great. But whatever. But yeah, I mean, a body composed of dragon. Like, I think they said it's some kind of crystal, but that's really more rock or ice's territory, and both of those have been done before. So yeah, it's just I like the idea of the Regi Pokemon, or at least the original trio. I like how they're physically made up of their particular elements, as it were. I suppose you could technically say Regieleki is, or whatever the heck it's called. I think that's what it's called. You know, I suppose you could say that it's technically made up of living lightning, and I kind of have to give you that. But at the same time, I don't know. It doesn't seem. It's certainly not the same concept. Like, you can technically, if you want to, you could technically make. You know, you make snowmen, so that's kind of a body out of snow or ice. Robots, you know, like androids are made out of are made out of metal and other things, obviously, but you know, predominantly metal and or polymers or things like that. But then, you know, as far as the rock body goes, I mean, again, the story from which the original Regi trio, their backstory comes from, is related to the Golem of Prague, which, that was a body made out of, not rocks, but it was kind of made out of dirt or clay, so I could see that being like a ground body, I could see that being like a rock body. It either way does technically work. And I used the Hyper Potion there. I don't know if I absolutely had to because, well, it would have survived that stomp, but, I just, like I said, I've got plenty of Hyper Potions, I've still got plenty of money, so I'm not too fussed about that. If Regice here KOs itself, I'll just restart and hopefully remember to use the Quick Ball. But I've managed to catch all of the non-roaming legendaries in one take, with the exception of Giratina, because it's actually very difficult to capture Giratina in one take, either because Giratina can actually overpower your team, or, as happened most of the time when I was battling Giratina, it runs out of HP, or it runs out of move PP and then struggles itself into KO. So, always lovely when that happens. Okay. Did I just... No, I did not just catch it in a Great Ball. Okay. That was a couple of close ones, but nothing doing. Alright, well, keep at it. I haven't been at it for that long. I can keep going, although at some point I may get hungry. But it is what it is. I'm here to capture a legendary Pokemon, and I will not leave until I have done so. Like I said, if this video starts to get too particularly long, or I just don't have enough to talk about, I may start using the logical Pokeballs to use for this, but I really, really, really don't want to catch this thing in a Timer Ball or a Dusk Ball, because, and again, that's boring. I'd rather catch it in something like that Net Ball, which, close but no cigar. Oh well. Let's keep going. We'll try an Ultra Ball. Technically, an Ultra Ball makes slightly more sense than everything else that I've been using, but it's still not like a Dusk Ball. Oh, yay! Okay, well, that's that, I suppose. And Regice's data was added to the Pokedex. It is the Iceberg Pokemon, pure Ice type, which is terrible defensively. Its body is made of ice from the Ice Age. It controls frigid air of minus 238 degrees Fahrenheit. But what is that in Kelvin? No? Nobody? And it's got like a 1 pixel footprint. I have no idea how that massive body is supported on that small of a footprint, but okay. So yeah, that's that Pokemon captured. I did not give... I don't recall giving a nickname to Regirock. It was a little while ago. If I did, I'll name the Regice appropriately. Box 3 is full. It was transferred to Box 4 instead. I think that's where I wanted it to go anyway. And of course, the Pokemon statue has stopped emanating power. And we're done here. Back to Mount Coronet. And can I make it? Yes, I can. Route 216. I am not going to slog all the way from Route 216 back to Snow Point City. Instead, I'm going to fly there. And I suppose I could have flown to Canalave City next, because that is technically where I want to be for the next episode, but I don't care. I'll fly there between episodes. Alright, let's take care of this. I could battle this trainer, but I don't really feel the need to. I don't know, maybe I'm boring. But let's actually take a look at our newly captured Pokemon. And here we are in box 4. Yeah, okay, I did not nickname Regirock. Here is Regice. And again, with that really cool cry. Lax Nature. I believe that actually does increase its special defense. So that's a decent nature for it, I think. There are its stats. And, of course, clear body ability. And its moves are exactly as I said. Trying to remember. But yeah, I don't actually remember. In any case, there is Regice caught in an Ultra Ball. I caught Regirock in a Timer Ball because, well, I tried it just for the sake of trying it, and it caught. So that's that for this episode. I did not use the Quick Ball on the first turn, so I guess that does make me a fool, but at least I used a Quick Ball at some point during the battle. Anyway, I will save things off here, and in the next episode, we'll go after the final member of this legendary trio. So I will see you all next time.